For decades, the idea of solving an intimate problem with a single pill sounded like a promise too good to be true. Just one tablet and a couple's life could flow again without embarrassment, without tension, without those moments of frustration that often remain unspoken. It was sold as a miracle of modern science, the triumph of medicine. The story of Viagra, however, did not begin the way many people imagine. We are in the 1980s, in Pfizer's laboratories, where a team of researchers was working on a drug intended to treat angina, a cardiac condition that causes chest pain due to restricted blood flow to the heart. The compound, initially called UK92480, was designed to relax blood vessels and improve circulation, reducing stress on the heart. But something unexpected emerged during the early clinical trials. The men taking the drug did not report significant improvements in angina, but they did report a marked increase in male sexual function. What had been developed as a treatment for the heart was revealing itself as a revolutionary discovery in another field: male sexuality. The researchers realized they were entering unexplored territory. It was not just a side effect, it was a consistent, reproducible, and potentially transformative phenomenon. The team began studying the compound more closely in the laboratory, analyzing how sildenafil affected blood flow in genital tissues during arousal and observing surprising results even in the earliest experimental stages. After further clinical studies and more in-depth testing, the pill was approved by the FDA in 1998 under the brand name Viagra. Its launch was a global event, accompanied by clever advertising campaigns and a blue package that quickly became iconic. Millions of men around the world tried the drug, and the company that produced it saw its revenues grow exponentially. But behind the commercial success lay unresolved questions. Long-term studies were limited, many side effects were not yet fully understood, and the rapid spread of the drug raised ethical concerns about how thoroughly its impact had been comprehended. This is the story of a miracle discovered almost by accident, one that would change the lives of millions of people and transform the way society perceives male sexuality. Scientific context, experimentation, and the global market. Sildenafil was not merely a stroke of luck. Behind the blue pill was a long series of experiments, clinical trials, and scientific studies that made it possible to understand precisely how it works. The drug acts by relaxing blood vessels, improving blood flow to genital tissues during arousal, and it differs from earlier attempts because it does not work on command. It requires natural stimulation, making its effect safer and physiologically consistent. The period in which Viagra emerged was also a time when medicine began to explore male sexuality in a more systematic way. Before the 1990s, erectile dysfunction was a taboo, poorly treated, often hidden behind vague diagnoses or ignored altogether. The arrival of Viagra changed this dynamic. The pill did not merely treat a physical symptom, but also made it possible to talk openly about male sexuality and intimate health, breaking decades of awkward silence. The commercial launch of the pill was accompanied by unprecedented advertising campaigns, slogans designed to reassure, messaging aimed at breaking stigma, and a blue package that was instantly recognizable. The success was rapid and overwhelming. In less than a year, millions of men around the world had tried the drug, and Viagra became a global symbol of power, youth, and virility. But commercial success also raised important ethical questions. Long-term studies were incomplete, and many side effects remained poorly understood. Headaches, flushing, visual disturbances, and, in rare cases, cardiac problems had already been documented. Nevertheless, marketing emphasized the benefits while relegating potential risks to the background. Viagra also paved the way for a multi-billion-dollar global market. Drugs such as Cialis and Levitra followed the model, and the blue pill became the first example of a revolutionary medication capable of changing not only medicine, but also culture and the pharmaceutical market itself. Yet its success sparked a debate. To what extent can companies promote a drug's benefits without adequately emphasizing its potential risks? Many people underestimate the negative effects that a powerful drug like Viagra can have when used without medical supervision. When misused, it can cause dangerous interactions with other medications or unwanted psychological effects. If you too want to help spread awareness and help people understand the real history and risks of Viagra, subscribe to the channel and share this video. It's a small gesture that can make a big difference in collective awareness. Cultural impact, awareness, and alternatives. Viagra was not only a medical success, it changed society. For the first time, erectile dysfunction became an open topic, discussed in the media, addressed on television programs, and even portrayed in films. The blue pill redefined modern masculinity, influencing cultural perceptions, social expectations, and the intimate lives of millions of men and women. At the same time, the drug generated important scientific discussions. It demonstrated that male sexual dysfunction is not merely psychological, but often linked to circulatory problems, opening the door to more in-depth research on cardiovascular and sexual health. It also showed how a chance discovery can revolutionize medicine, turning an apparent failure into a historic breakthrough. Today, several alternatives and complementary approaches exist to improve male sexual function. Psychological therapies, lifestyle changes, targeted physical exercises, approved supplements, and less invasive medical approaches. The key remains awareness, knowing the history of the drug, understanding the risks, and making informed choices to protect one's own health and that of one's partner. Viagra also teaches us that science is not linear. Many great successes are born by chance, from sudden insights or unexpected phenomena. But the story of the drug also shows how important it is to communicate risks and benefits correctly, and how market pressure can influence decisions and public perception. Thank you for making it to the end of this story. If you found the video interesting, leave a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. By helping spread this information, you can ensure that more people understand the truth behind the great successes of modern medicine. From 10 Minute Story, it's been a pleasure telling you this story. See you next time.